What's up, guys? It's Max Merck here, and today I have a really fun little upgrade for you AMG guys out there. As most of you AMG owners know, or whether you don't know, these E55s, C63s, pretty much any AMG or Mercedes for that matter, has hydraulic fluid engine mounts. And as they age and as you put miles in the car, the harder you drive the car, they'll begin to start seeping out that hydraulic fluid, and the mount will collapse. And then you'll just have the engine sitting on a collapsed mount, and you'll start to feel it get worse and worse over time. Like for my car, it started to kind of vibrate in reverse, and then it started getting worse and worse, and now it's pretty much really uncomfortable. Anytime the car's idling, it'll just vibrate, and I'm afraid to drive it because, you know, I've heard of motor mounts getting to the point where they're so bad that the rubber on them actually starts to separate when you floor the car too hard, and you can start tearing lines and stuff like that, and it'll just lead to more problems, which I'm just trying to avoid. But in terms of these engine mounts, you really don't have that many options. You can either go OEM, which is going to be the same story. At one point they will go bad again, and you're gonna have to replace them. And the only other solution on the market pretty much is the East Coast Euro billet polyurethane motor mounts. So as you can see here, I have both of the engine mounts. These are billet aluminum. They're anodized black, so it's a really beautiful finish. You can actually see a lot of the billeting. It's a really beautiful piece of you know, car parts. You know, you really don't expect a car part to be you know, this beautiful, you know, aesthetically, as well as this hefty and good quality. I mean, just even looking, and you can really feel that it's a quality product that's built to withstand more power. As well as I personally like to kind of push the car and, you know, go on spirited drives a lot. So the more you do those things, the faster it's going to go through mounts. And I do plan on tuning the car in the future, so this is just a pretty complimentary mod. So the great thing about these mounts is they are actually serviceable. So as you can see, you have some bolts around here. If you unbolt these, you can actually disassemble this mount, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture right there. And you have these blue polyurethane inserts, and there's two stiffnesses. The blue, which I have, is the street stiffness, which is a bit softer and closest to OEM feel. Once I have it installed in the car, I'm going to show you guys exactly what it feels like and drives like inside the car. And they also have the performance kind of racier insert, which is going to produce some vibration inside the car, but you are going to get a lot more response out of the car, and the motor is not going to move at all. But I went for the street mounts just for, you know, comfort. I just wanted something that's going to hold up a little bit better than the OEM. And East Coast Euro does also have a transmission mount that is also billet and polyurethane, I believe. But I personally just went for the OE. The OEM was about $70. The OE, which is pretty much the same exact part, just doesn't have the AMG badge stamped on it, is a Cortico part. This was about $33. It's exactly the same as the OEM. As you can see, this is what the standard stock one is. There's a little bit more play, but that's okay with me. And East Coast Euro, they have really great customer support. So when I actually went to go pick up my motor mounts, I asked a mod who runs East Coast Euro what his kind of opinion is with his transmission mounts. And he told me that when you throw together the billet motor mounts as well as his transmission mount, you do get slightly more vibration in the cabin. And I personally, like I said, I'm just kind of looking for a little OEM-like upgrade, so I went with just the standard OE. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these sent out to my mechanic, GTP Motorsports, located in Air Park in Gaithersburg, Maryland. If you guys have an AMG, Mercedes, or pretty much any car for that matter in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, be sure to check out GTP Motorsports. He does great work. And once we get those old mounts out, I'm gonna show you guys what they look like. They're probably gonna be collapsed. They're probably gonna be leaking out that hydraulic fluid, and get these East Coast Euro mounts popped in, and I'll show you guys kind of what the car feels like, idle, reverse, driving, how the upshifts, downshifts kind of feel like in manual mode. Just gonna get one last good glance at these before they go in the car. Thought I'd get it under the light for you guys. Looks beautiful, as you can see, great quality. And on the bottom, like I said, Ahmad has great customer service. He's great with his clients. He explained to me very in detail that these holes in the bottom right here are for ventilation, and while the mounts are actually installed in the car, you can go look underneath and see if those polyurethane inserts need to be replaced, and you can actually replace those when it is time. However, these should last quite significantly longer than the OEM. And on top of that, he said, on especially these M156 cars, they do tend to run hot, so he said these holes at the bottom are for ventilation as well. So, you know, Ahmad has done quite a lot of engineering and research and development into these products, so I'm really looking forward to see how this is going to make the car feel. And really quickly, let me show you guys what the shot motor mounts look like. So they've gotten quite worse over the past several hundred miles, And right now they're pretty much at the point where I don't really feel comfortable driving the car anymore, just in terms of comfort and in terms of I don't want to damage the car and further. So I hope the camera picks it up, but you can kind of hear a rattle coming from the dash. And what that actually is I believe some plastic interior trim rattling around because of that engine vibration is starting to get that bad. The car kind of starts to ride a little bit rough, it doesn't feel smooth, it becomes jerky. At wide open throttle you can start to feel the engine actually kind of lift up and then smack back down when you let off. Alright guys, so I got the car back with the East Coast Euro mounts installed in the car, so unfortunately we can't look at them anymore, but now we get to drive it and see how it feels. If you are looking for 100% vibration free, very, Mercedes comfort oriented kind of ride experience with this car, then you're going to want to go with the OEM rubber design hydraulic fluid filled mount. But for those, who like to drive these cars a little bit more spiritedly, drive them a little harder, or for those who like to throw power at them, upgrade the cars, which there is a big market for, and there's a lot of us who do that, especially with these kind of cars. So let's go ahead and start up the car. Really feels good, not that much vibration coming into the cabin. So sitting here at idle, it really is not bad at all. I don't think at all the ride comfort has been compromised just by sitting here at idle. If I grab the steering wheel, I can feel the ever so slightest vibration in the kind of shift knob as well as the steering wheel. But it is one of those things that you can't visually see it. You as the driver would have to, actually feel the wheel, and you can feel the ever so slightest vibration. But when I say that, I don't mean that in the sense that it's uncomfortable or anything. You kind of feel that the engine is more on and awake. So that is something to note. As I said, if you want a 100% vibration free ride, then you're going to want to go with OEM. But for an OEM like upgrade, I think this is great. You don't compromise anything at all. So let's go ahead and start driving. So I have the car right now in comfort. That's how we'll start things. Just upon putting your foot down, even in comfort mode, the car feels instantly more responsive. As now you have, even compared to the OEM mount, you have less of the engine rocking back and forth and less movement, so kind of just more power being transferred to the wheels quicker. Everything feels very sturdy. While you're driving along, you really don't get much vibration at all. Nothing, no. It's just, as I said earlier, at idle, and that is not something that would deter me away from this product. And as I start to push the car harder, you'll see where the benefits really start to shine with these billet aluminum polyurethane mounts. So the mounts really are, as they say, they are street mounts. I'm sitting here in 7th gear, driving very comfortably. I don't feel any unnecessary vibration at all. And in this sense, it's very almost OEM-like. And instead what you do get is quite a bit more response from the engine, and the overall car feels quite a bit sturdier and a little bit more planted, because the engine does also sit, I believe, 10 millimeters lower, so the center of gravity is lower. I'm not sure how much effect that has on handling, but let's go ahead and pop it into sport mode now. Yeah, it feels very, very sturdy when I get on the gas and when I let off the gas. Just the transfer of power between the engine and the wheels just feels a lot more fluid and a lot more connected. And let's go ahead and pop it into Sport Plus. Oh my. Yeah. For all of you AMG owners, whether it be a 55K car or an M156 car, 63, with a 6.2 liter, at one point or another, your car will need engine mounts if they don't already. You'd be surprised how many of these cars actually do need them, but most owners won't realize until they get so bad to the point where you start the car and the whole cabin is vibrating. Yeah, the car puts down power really well now. Everything feels really, as I said earlier, the best way to describe it is connected. As soon as it downshifts, you just feel that power instantly go to the rear wheels, and it's just much snappier, and especially in manual mode, that's another place I feel a really big difference. Things feel a lot crisper, a lot snappier for a car with this power plant and this chassis. This is just what the car needs. This is going to be an excellent complementary mod if you're going to tune the car, which I am planning to do with this car in the near future. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this looks like when I brake torque the car, and how much the engine moves, or actually how little the engine moves now. OEM mount costs about $330 on FCP Euro for the M156, and the East Coast Euro, the Billet polyurethane mounts retail for $500. But if you reach out to East Coast Euro, speak to a mod, he will take great care of you. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments section below if any of you guys also run these mounts. And stay tuned for some more goodies coming to the AMG in the future. We're going to go wider tires in the back, 275 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, and then after that, a Eurocharged V7 tune. So thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.